New Year's Eve 2012. The Connect's Mario community is at its peak. Its biggest YouTuber, Stormbringer GT, is also arguably at its peak. Just a few months earlier, he had released Connect's Rainbow Road, which up to now has 8.6 million views on his channel and is currently the second most popular video on his channel. So obviously with that success of that video, he chose to start a much bigger project on the channel. Connect's Wario's Gold Mine. On New Year's Eve 2012, he released a trailer, or kind of a teaser for the video. Although it was just 7 seconds, it did show us a lot of what the track looked like and how much ambition he had in this project. Let's just have a look at the track now and the video. So as you can see, back then it was a track that like no one had ever seen before, up to this scale. With all the steep inclines, all the massive heights. It was sort of reminiscent of obviously the real Wario Gold Mine, which sounds impossible to make in real life really, using the Connect's Mario Kart track physics, which aren't necessarily that strong. However, it really comes to show his ambition for the track and how much he really wanted to make it. However, unfortunately 12 years later, this trailer is all we had, and unfortunately we never got to see the full track. And today I'm going to delve into why this never came to be. Sit back as we go into the story of the greatest Connect track that never was. The best place where we can look for the rise and the eventual downfall of this project is within the video itself, more in detail the actual comment section. Luckily, our protagonist was able to leave behind a lot of evidence within the comment section, where we can use these comments to have a look at what went wrong and how it was going over sort of like a timeline. So at the start it looked like it was all going well, everyone was going to go forward with it, such as from this comment here by Stormbringer, which says, "Yep, finishing up editing now. I saw this in my clips and thought I would put it together and toss it out so you can see what I was working with. Trying to get the cars to climb up 2 feet of height was difficult but worth it." So as you can see from this comment, it was clear that he was very confident that this track was going along with it, and that the trailer that we saw, he just found it in his clips and thought he would post it to sort of show us how the progress was going. However, it clearly wasn't all easy going, as he had to deal with the so-called climb and getting the cars to climb up 2 feet of height. So he was clearly working on that and maybe somewhat struggling, as we would later find out. Over the next few days and weeks, Stormbringer GT would give out even more details on how the track would look like. For example, in this comment, it's massive. The dual decline is over 3 feet long each. As well as you haven't even seen the custom traps yet. Now this one is particularly interesting because in the previous track that he made, Rainbow Road, we saw his skills that he was able to build with the custom traps, as we saw the motorized custom bullet bill obstacle. So who knows what he was planning to put on this track, but it was probably going to be something just as impressive, if not even more. Stormbringer GT would then add more detail about the track in the comments with the comment, "Yeah, they are off. It took me a while to find the right height, as the cars would always fly off the track at the end. I had to add an incline right after the drop to help bleed off some of the momentum. However, occasionally they will still fly off, which is part of the fun." So I guess here you can say that this is the first really part where you can see some of the issues of the track, as you could tell from the trailer. But it seemed like he was able to just make some changes, and it minimised the amount of crashes, which he was very happy to do. And at this point it still looked like the whole thing was going to go along. He was making altercations to the track to still make it sort of acceptable, but while it's still looking awesome, of course. Now throughout this sort of saga, there's quite a few times where a lot of people were sort of being very impatient and demanding, where is the track, when is it coming out? Because I guess this was stretching out over a few weeks and a couple of months eventually, and on quite a few occasions Stormbringer himself had to sort of remind them that it's coming soon, it's almost done, sorry, Lycook is busy. This here is just one comment he made. There was actually quite a few times he had to sort of reply to these sort of people. So clearly, there wasn't a lot of patience in the air in this situation. So up to this point, it still looked like the track was going to go along, you know. Everything looked to be put in place, everything looked to be set up right, even the creator was confident. So unfortunately, everyone was probably very disappointed when they saw the bombshell that Stormbringer GT dropped in the comment section. The comment was a very long thread which says, Wario's Gold Mine was my most ambitious track, as I mentioned the ambition quite a lot in this video. This was his most ambitious track, as he says here, and this is what screwed him over. The elevation changes were too much. I had to tune my engines to get them to make the large climbs, and I was burning through batteries after 2 laps. I also burnt up quite a few engines in the process as well. The track sat in my living room for a month and could not get everything to come together. So this comment basically ended everyone's hope that this track would ever be released, unfortunately, because the creator had effectively just given up despite lots of hard work into putting it. He unfortunately could not get it to work simply. It was just too extreme, and he ended up actually damaging some of his, you know, wasting quite a few engines in the process and burning the batteries. So yeah, it didn't do well for him, and it also took away his living room, which I guess interfered with his life quite a bit. However, the logistics of the track were not actually the only reason that he had to halt the production of Wario's Gold Mine. Let's look at the next comment here. I fell on it once, my brother fell on it once, Fat Rhodey, which is his cat, slept on it and broke some pieces. In the end I had to take her down to get my living room back. I could not get any usable footage and the carts could not handle the climb or the extreme dive. It was an awesome looking track and I would have loved to make it work, but I couldn't. I got married on 12/12/12, awesome date, so everything before and after that was just a world of time. So as you can see, the track was not the only thing that interfered with the production. It was also, as I said, the space, the living room. It definitely didn't help out in his house. It definitely took a lot of space, you know. He said his brother even fell over it, his cat broke some pieces, did some damage, and also, more importantly, his life outside of YouTube. So as he said, he got married and that, so he simply just did not have the time. He was constantly occupied, which is fair enough, and he just didn't have the time to sort of keep working on it, and that's why he had to sort of, you know, scrap it in the end. And finally, I just want to look at the last comment that I want to look at, which effectively gave us some closure. That was like, basically, it's not happening. And the comment is, the reason? Life happened, babies were born, relatives died, I got married, I travelled the holidays, got 2 baby chickens, writer's block version of shooting tracks and editing. I am an adult and my free time is limited as such. A lot of important things happened, and while Mario Kart tracks are important to me, I'm sure you reasonable folks can understand why they got pushed aside. So this comment effectively, well, it sort of gave us another reason why. Just so much happened in his life once again that he just did not have the time to constantly be working on it. And yeah, that was basically it. This track, it was a trailer. The trailer was all we got, and unfortunately we never got to see the real full creation, and that is why this Wario's Gold Mine, Connect's Wario's Gold Mine, is the greatest Connect track that never was. And one last thing, in August 2020, the YouTube channel Awesome YouTuber 47 actually released a Connect track which was meant to be a recreation of what Stormbringer GT couldn't do. The track is called Wario's Mint. I will leave a link in the description so you can check it out. And it was supposed to literally be a recreation of Wario's Gold Mine. From the trailer, obviously, he did as much. He tried to get as close as possible to what was on the trailer, which obviously wasn't too much. It was just 3 snapshots. But looking at this, at the video, at the track, it actually looks really good. It looks pretty similar to what Stormbringer was trying to do. So yeah, I will leave the link in the description to that video if you want to go check it out. I personally think the video deserves more justice, because I mean, he did something that's, you know, the biggest creator in the community can do, and I don't think he gets the recognition that he deserves for making that. Alright, and that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know this is a completely sort of new format on the channel, this documentary style investigation format on the channel. I've never really done it on here. I know it's related to Connect, which is one of the main genres on the channel, but the way this video is structured is completely new to me in the channel. But yeah, let me know guys, what do you think? Maybe you want to see more videos similar like this. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. So obviously the research and planning on this video took absolutely ages, so liking, subscribing would be greatly appreciated. And yeah, that's everything from me. This was Alan Arrow, and I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.